So I read 3 books. I finished 3 books in March, but I did not finish one of them. In fact, I dropped one of them. I'm going to talk about why, just because I think it's like, why not? And I feel like that's what a lot of book people do. They want to let you know why they stopped reading books and things like that, so they have like ideas on why they shouldn't pick up a book or other things. I don't know. But yeah, welcome. Welcome to my rant. My name is Trip Starlick, and we're here to go. So if you did watch my my January and February video, I like had another page that had like my 5-star ranking and then content warnings on it. I'm not gonna do that anymore because I realize it's really hard to include content warnings and not include spoilers. So I'm just not going to do it anymore. And then if I think that you should look up the content warnings before starting the book, I'll just tell you. I'll just tell you to go look them up instead. I think that's a better way to handle it. So yeah, everything I read in March. The first book is the first one that I did not finish. It's A Song of Blood and Stone by Penelope. Now, okay. This is the only one I didn't finish, so maybe I could talk about it faster than other things. Meh. Anyway, so yeah, so I started this as an audiobook because I was driving a lot in throughout March, and I had it recommended to me by a librarian, and I was like, sure, I'll check it out. And I don't have a ton to say about it because I didn't even get that far into it before realizing I can't read this book right now. But what I do know that it's about, it's like an epic fantasy about an outcast that was drawn into war, and there's like between 2 powerful heirs, like it's between like 2 heirs to 2 empires. The main character has like this power called Song, and she can like influence different things to happen, it seems, with her song powers. And she meets this spy dude really early on, and then like he gets captured, and then like troops come to the house, and she realizes, oh, that's the spy dude. And then there's a whole bunch of very uncomfortable scenes that happen in succession for me that I had to put it down. If you're curious as to what those are, look up the content warnings of the book, because I'm sure that they are listed as major. And it was just like, I'm okay with a few things, like basically I'm okay with you putting whatever in the book so long as it has good context, but like really good context. Some of it needs really, really, really good context, but if it's like one after another just rolling suffering, I just can't do it anymore. And so I just had to put it down. It's just like I'm not in the right mindset to just read like constant suffering of characters. So I don't know. I just wanted to mention it because maybe someone will have read the story and can pitch it to me in a way that would make me want to pick it up again at some point in my life. Or maybe I made the right decision in putting it down and not reading it right now. I don't know. But I just thought I'd mention it. Yeah, it wasn't written poorly or anything. I was just like, I don't want to read this much suffering in my life right now. So I put it down. But the rest of them I have read, so I can talk a lot about those. The next one, I think, let's see, what's my next book in my list? Yeah, okay. This one I can talk about. So I'm doing, Books and Lala, she's a booktuber on YouTube. She has a Buzzwordathon, readathon, I guess, for all of 2023, where each month you pick a book, and each of the prompts are based off of what is like the most common words or things that you're seeing in titles of books that are being published right now. So the March's prompt was secret, and secret was actually a really annoying prompt for me because do you know how many books I read last year with the prompt that had secret in the title? I read 34 Nancy Drew books. Like half of them have the word secret in them. But anyway, secret, yeah. So it does say secret. Whatever, deal with secret. It's the Secret Society of Irregular Witches. Whatever. Sometimes we can't spell. It's fine. Anyway, I did. It had to be the word secret specifically in it, so I picked it. The very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandanna. Now this book was really cute. It's a cozy fantasy with romantic elements. starring Mika Moon. She is a witch living in Britain, and the way witches work in this world is that they have to keep their magic secret, and she can't surround herself with other witches. If like too many of them meet together, it makes magic too excited and too many magical things happen, and then oh no, what if the Salem witch trials happen again? That sort of thing. So Mika has overall had an extremely lonely life, but she still manages to express herself on the internet, where she posts videos pretending to be a witch. Though through this, she is scouted by someone who needs a witch, basically, to work for them, and she's begged to travel to the English countryside and teach 3 young witches how to control their magic. She knows the risks in, like, so many witches gathering, but she does it anyway because she's very lonely and doesn't want to be lonely. And she starts to become a part of this found family that live in this place called the Nowhere House. Among the caretakers is Jamie. He is the grumpy Tamika's sunshine. He's like the librarian of the house because like the lady that runs the house who's never there. She's like an archaeological lady that she's never there. He like has a lot of like her ancient tomes, and he like sends them to different places and catalogs them and all that stuff. Time to start a witch school, yeah! Kinda. So the book is very sweet and warm. The 3 witches actually kind of reminded me of the Belcher trio from Bob's Burgers. One of them is she's like a little bit older, she's really interested in romance. Then there's a go-with-the-flow, super creative kid. And the 3rd kid that just threatens to murder Mika on day 1. I'm sorry, it just reminded me of Tina, Eugene, and Louise. They just did. They're very cute, too. A lot of the times kids will irritate me in books if, like, they're written in certain ways, I guess, because, like, you know, certain ways are gonna be annoying. But they weren't annoying at all. They felt like kids, but, like, kids that wanted to, like, grow and learn, I guess. Mika herself is witty and bright, and this made the book really easy to read because she is so positive, but she writes in such a Sangu Mandanna, she writes Mika in such a funny way that's really fun to read. However, I wasn't as big of a fan as Jamie. Like, I like him a lot when he was like caring for the 3 little witches, because it was clear that he was like he was actually basically their dad, and it was really cute. And while I could see the romantic chemistry between Mika and Jamie, I felt like their relationship needed more time to grow before anything romantic happened between them, because there would just be enough friction where I was like, whoa, you need to step back and hold on. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see if you read the book and tell me what you think of it. Let's see what you think of it. Yeah, that's what I mean to say there. I felt like it needed more time, but I understand that it's like it's very simple, cozy fantasy with romantic elements, so things are just gonna wrap up neatly with a little bow. And like the plot does wrap up neatly with a little bow in a very funny, cute way, which I liked, but I don't know, I just wasn't sold on Jamie. I'm sorry. So for me, I gave this like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I know for book club I do things like 10 out of 10, but I don't know, when I'm on my own and I'm just reading a book and just thinking about it from my own like opinion, a 5 out of 5 star rating makes more sense in my brain. So yeah, 3.5 out of 5. Not bad, not good. I'd easily recommend it to people who like reading, especially if they like reading cozy fantasy. But if you're someone who reads a lot or has a hard time getting into slower paced books, maybe not. I don't know. It was good though. It's also really popular, so I thought that I wasn't going to be able to get this book within the month of March, but I did. Yay. So yeah. And then next we have The Space Between Worlds. Now, The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. This is a sci-fi novel. So this book is about, a version of Earth, I guess. At least they say it's Earth. It might not be. That has discovered that the multiverse theory is real, and they have the technology to travel to other worlds. The catch, however, is that people can't survive on the world, and like they can't go to the world and survive on that world if their counterpart in that multiverse world is still alive. They will like immediately die, basically. So the company that discovered the multiverse, like that you can hop between worlds, specifically hires people who grew up in not so nice environments, like war-torn countries, or just like bad, like, you know, like bad cities, things like that, because there's a greater likelihood that their self has already died on a different world. So that's a fun thing. The story tells the tale of Kara, and about what she does when she realizes that one of her last remaining selves mysteriously dies. She's very good at surviving, despite 372 of her other counterparts having already died. So she's concerned when one of her 7 counterparts dies, because, oh, I thought those were the survivors. So she goes to that world, and what she finds is actually very surprising, and the story unfolds from there. This book has really good commentary about being used and told that you're very special, but not feeling like you're very special because, like, you're not being used for very nice reasons, or what you can do because of these you're special because of, like, terrible things. Yeah, it has really cool concepts. It also explores toxic relationships in a way where I was like, oh, and I did some, like, my own self-reflecting on it. Okay, the thing that made me sad, though, is that it advertises as being like a sapphic story, but I felt like all the lesbian gay parts were really sidelined, and it made me sad. But let me tell you the rest of it. So basically, the first 50% of this book is great. I couldn't put it down. It's so interesting. But I just couldn't say as much towards the second half. The plot really begins to meander, as you can tell where the story is going. You can just, like, tell what Kara's gonna do next. And you're like, okay, when's she gonna get there? And it gets a little bit slower. It's also frustrating that I was really hoping for the compelling relationship between Kara and Del, but I personally just feel like it didn't get touched on enough, because even though Kara's constantly thinking about Del, she's like, oh my god, I love this girl so much, and she'll never know. Del is never really in there. She's never physically in the story. So I just didn't feel the connection or chemistry as much. It just felt like it was, like, largely within Kara's head. So overall, this story has extremely interesting concepts, and it's a world that I thought was really cool. I'd be excited to revisit it. It just fell flat to me in a few areas. But I would definitely read another book by Micaiah Johnson. It's written really well. I honestly give this 4 out of 5 stars, because there's really nothing bad about the book. It's a very good book. I just felt like some parts fell flat, like I said before. Yeah. But yeah, sapphic story with sad disappointingness. It's still good. It's still a good book, and also I listened to this on audio, and the audio narrator, she is fantastic. Like, she's the reason I didn't put this book down, because even though it gets kind of boring in the second half, she's just really entertaining to listen to. So props to her. So the last book I read in well, not the last book. I think this is actually the first book, but I wanted to go like least favorite to most favorite this time in the amount of books I read, is actually, I got this advanced reader copy of Spellbound by F.T. Lukens, and this book was fantastic. Like, I cannot talk enough. I want to talk a lot about this book. I'd never heard of this author before, but they've written other, like, LGBT, nice, like, cute fantasies. Gosh, let me just pitch this book to you. Okay, so this is a really great piece of young adult fantasy. It's about Rook, who has recently become an apprentice to a powerful witch, Antonia Hex, who is not known for following the rules, which is great for Rook because he actually can't see or use magic, and typically people that don't have magic are not allowed to, like, work with or learn about it or even touch the world, really, unless you're really rich, of course. But Rook is desperate to feel it again because his grandma recently passed, and, like, that was, like, his only family, and he just wants to feel like home, like something feels homey again to him. This book is also about Sun, the apprentice of Antonia's rival and / co-worker. They work together, but they're, like, not friends. Sun is less social. They are a bit more by the book and a bit more grumpy, actually significantly more grumpy than Rook. And Sun is a budding talent in using magic, I guess. The two become rivals. themselves, Sun and Rook do, but they find themselves slowly becoming friends the more that they see each other. And that's all I'm going to say about the plot, because I genuinely think you should just go read the book. I had the most fun reading this book that I've had in the entire year. First off, it is Rivals to Lovers, and also it's a story between a cis man and a non-binary person, and I don't know, it spoke to me. I was like, yes, please give me the non-binary rep. That's what I want. Lukens really led us into such an intriguing and fascinating magical world that weaves these two adorable main characters that are on the cover right here, Rook and Sun, and their teachers are really entertaining too. The prose balances between being lighthearted and witty to really heartfelt and sweet. Like, it's so sweet. Sometimes it's cavity sweet. Like, uh-oh. But it's really good. I loved it. Yeah, the representation is executed excellently, and Lukens also discusses things like the problems of gatekeeping with really good nuance, I think, and the problems of like gatekeeping, like different societies or just like groups of people, things like that. If nothing else, though, the Rook and Sun's relationship was an extremely impeccable Grumpy Sunshine mix. Like, sometimes I don't like Grumpy Sunshine because it's very played out, but this works. It worked for me really well. I love that the relationship was slow to form into a true friendship, and then we got to see the two gradually start to fall for each other, and I loved it. I loved them for each other. I especially loved how their relationship showcased that intimacy can happen and develop without the traditional expected like trajectory. Like, there's a lot more than just hand holding and kissing. Like, intimacy is a huge variety of things. And you don't see that a lot in young adult fiction, in my experience anyway, and I thought that was really nice. This is also just my opinion talking, but I felt like Rook and Sun felt like teenagers, and I also feel like that doesn't always happen in young adult fiction. It sometimes gets lost, like they sound like adults but they're doing teenager-y things. But they're incredibly capable and very intelligent teenagers, but still teenagers with thoughts like, I'm the motherfucking gingerbread man and stuff, and it's just really, I don't know. It's a lovely book. I can't recommend it enough. It's a 5 out of 5. I really, really liked it. And I got this as an advanced reader's copy. So the book actually doesn't release until this Tuesday. I'm probably just gonna go buy it, honestly, even though I got it technically for free just to review it. But literally, it's so good. I just like saw the cover and I was like, I'll see if I get accepted as a reader for it, and I did, and I'm so happy I did. Genuinely 5 out of 5. I'd really recommend Spellbound. I've read a lot of cozy fantasy recently, or just a fair amount anyway. I guess I wouldn't say a lot, and Spellbound has been my favorite so far. Yeah. Hello. So this is the end of the video post stream. I just want to say thank you for watching. And if you like this content, give it a like and follow, because I am posting more and more book content every month. And I also run a book club where we read One Piece and other books. We are going to be discussing Legends and Lattes probably today when this video releases at 8 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. Feel free to join. Links to the stream down below. Yeah, so next month I'm going to be reading, oh gosh, I have so many books. It's like the 6th now, so I've already finished a book. And then I'm like almost all the way through another book. But one thing I would like to say is that I'm going to be reading, and I have an advanced reader's copy of Zhara, Guardians of the Dawn series. Yeah, Zhara, it's like a new series. And I'm excited to read that and then tell you what I think of it. It's being proposed as Sailor Moon meets Cinder, which is interesting if you know either of those things. I'm very interested, and I'll be on a plane for several hours this month, so I'm sure I'll have time to get to it. So yeah. That's all I want to say for now, because like, yeah, I have 2 books that I'm reading, but I don't have a lot of plans, so we'll just see what I read at the end of it. Maybe I'll start doing like, these are my reading plan videos, but for now it's just, I'm mood reading all the time now. So we'll see. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.